English Vibes Podcast. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Podcast and Chill on the English Vibes Podcast channel. I'm Ryan, and with me is Emma, as always.
Hi, everyone. We're happy to have you with us again.
Emma, I've seen many comments from our listeners. They say they understand English, but they can't speak it. Well, yes, that happens a lot. Speaking can be hard when you're not used to it or when you're nervous. Exactly. Sometimes you understand the words, but when you try to speak, you get stuck.
Yes, that's a common problem. People often know what to say, but they can't say it.
So, today we'll talk about something important. Do you need to understand every word in English to speak it? No, you don't need to know every word. We will show you how to focus on the main idea, not every small detail. That's right. Speaking is about sharing ideas, not being perfect.
Stay with us, and we'll help you feel more confident speaking English.
And don't forget we have a free PDF with today's main points. Check the description below and download it. You know, Emma, I've been thinking, what's more important when speaking? English, being smooth or knowing every word? Many learners wonder about this. Yeah, I see it in the comments. People want to speak, but they're afraid of making mistakes.
I understand. But here's the truth. Being able to communicate is more important than perfect grammar.
Right, even native speakers make small mistakes, right?
Yes. And research by Dr. Paul Nation from Victoria, University in New Zealand, shows that focusing too much on grammar can slow down learning to speak.
So, if you always try to get every word perfect, it might make speaking harder?
Yes. Dr. Nation's research says speaking smoothly comes from using English a lot, not from stopping to fix every mistake.
That makes sense. The more you speak, the more comfortable you get, right?
Yes. And a study from Cambridge University Press found that learners who practice speaking more often get more confident faster.
So the more you speak, the less you worry about mistakes?
Exactly. And the confidence you get from speaking often helps you improve.
So, to all our listeners, don't worry about being perfect. Just focus on sharing your ideas.
And remember, even if you don't know every word, you can still use gestures and tone to help. Explain.
Yeah, it's not about perfection. It's about being understood. And you know, something I see a lot is people getting stuck on understanding every word in a conversation.
Yes, that happens a lot. But the truth is, you don't need to understand every word to keep talking.
Right. Focus on the main message. That's what really matters, right?
Yes, if you focus too much on small details, you might miss the big idea. I've read studies from the British Council that say learners who focus on the main idea of conversations are more confident.
That makes sense. When I'm talking, I just try to get my point across, even if I don't use perfect words.
And that helps build confidence.
Another thing that helps is learning through context.
Yes, even if you don't understand every word, you can guess the meaning by using context. For example, look at the person's gestures. Listen to their tone and watch their body language.
I do that a lot. It's amazing how much you can understand just by watching their movements or listening to how they speak.
And this is a skill you can practice. For example, when someone's voice goes up, they might be asking a question. They're probably explaining something important.
So even if you don't understand every word, you can still understand the main ideas.
Yes, and over time. This will help improve both your speaking and listening skills.
Okay, let's share 5 useful words from today's talk.
Sure. The first word is fluency.
Fluency means speaking smoothly without many pauses. For example, he spoke English with fluency.
The second word is confidence. Confidence is when you feel sure of yourself. For example, she spoke with confidence in the meeting.
The third word is gesture. A gesture is a movement of your hands or body to help explain something. For example, he made a gesture to show he was finished.
The fourth word is tone. Tone is the way your voice sounds when you talk. For example, her tone was friendly when she greeted me.
And the fifth word is context. Context is the situation or background that helps you understand the meaning. For example, the context of the conversation helped me understand the new word. Let us know. Do you think understanding context is more important than knowing every word?
Yes, I do. Understanding the situation gives you enough information to follow the conversation, even if you don't know all the words.
That makes sense. What about gestures? How much do they help in communication?
Gestures help us a lot. They add meaning to your words and help the listener understand you better.
I agree! So, to our listeners, how do you use gestures and context in your conversations? Let us know.
And don't forget, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Practice helps you improve.
Let's talk about something important: how to listen better when speaking.
Yes, that's called active listening. Active listening means you don't just hear the words. You really focus on understanding the message behind them. You're not just waiting to talk. You're trying to connect with what the other person is saying. You don't have to understand every word. Focus on the main idea and the key message they're sharing.
That's a really good point. Here's a way our listeners can practice active listening. When you're listening, try to pick out the key words or phrases. For example, if someone talks about their weekend, focus on the activities they did, like went hiking or watched a movie. You don't need to understand every detail about the movie or the hike. Just focus on the big event, what happened. And if you don't understand something, ask a question. It's okay to ask questions like, "What do you mean?" Or, "Can you say that again?" Asking questions shows you're paying attention, and it helps you understand better.
Research from the University of Michigan says that when people ask questions to clarify, they remember more and feel more connected to the person they're talking to. So, asking questions is a great way to improve your understanding.
Let's talk about something many learners worry about: the fear of making mistakes when speaking.
Yes, that's a common fear. Many learners think they must speak perfectly, but mistakes are part of learning. If you don't make mistakes, it probably means you're not trying enough.
That's true. If you wait until you have the perfect sentence, you'll never start. And the more you practice, even if you make mistakes, the faster you'll get better.
Research from Stanford University says learners who accept their mistakes and keep practicing get better faster than those who try to avoid mistakes.
Great point. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. The most important thing is to share your ideas. Focus on your message, even if it's not perfect. Speaking of communication, Gwen, some learners think they must use big, complicated words to sound smart.
Yes, but using simple, clear words is often better. Simple words help more people understand you. It's not about using hard words. It's about being clear. The British Council found that using simple language makes conversations smoother. So instead of trying to impress with big words, focus on being clear.
That's right! I always say, keep it simple and clear. The clearer you are, the easier it is for others to understand you.
Finally, I want to remind everyone, learning a language takes time.
Yes, you won't understand everything right away. But that's okay. Little by little, with practice, you'll improve.
A study by Cambridge University Press says learners who practice regularly improve a lot over time. So be patient with yourself. Your English will improve if you keep practicing.
All right, Gwen, let's share 5 more useful words from today's talk.
Active listening means really focusing on what someone is saying, not just hearing the words. For example, she practiced active listening in class.
The second word is mistake. A mistake is something you do wrong.
The third word is clear. Clear means easy to understand. For example, it's important to speak clearly so people understand you.
The fourth word is communicate. Communicate means to share information with others. For example, we use words to communicate our thoughts. And the last word is patience. And the last word is patience. Patience means staying calm while you wait or while you learn something new. For example, learning a language takes patience. Now, Emma, do you think anyone can get better at active swan listening?
Yes, I do. The more you practice, the better you become at it.
And about making mistakes, do you think people should stop worrying about them?
Absolutely.
Mistakes are part of learning, and they help you get better.
What do you think, listeners? Do you find active listening hard? Or are you worried about making mistakes when you speak?
Let us know in the comments below.
Today, we talked about whether you need to understand every word to speak English. The answer is no.
It's more important to focus on sharing your ideas.
Even if you don't know every word. Remember, it's about confidence, not perfection. That's all for today's episode. We hope you enjoyed learning with us.
Don't forget to check out the free PDF in the description.
And leave a comment if you have any questions. Thanks for joining us today.
See you next time!
Bye.